SRI and what is green sukuk?
This diagram illustrates the relationship between ESG, SRI, and green sukuk within the context of Islamic finance. Firstly, ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. These factors are used to evaluate how sustainable and responsible an investment is, including its impact on the environment, society, and the way it is managed. Secondly, SRI, Sustainable and Responsible Investment, focuses on ethical investing. It aims not only to generate financial returns, but also to create positive social and environmental impact. In addition, Green Sukuk is a Sharia-compliant financial instrument that specifically finances environmentally friendly projects such as renewable energy and green infrastructure. The diagram shows that these three elements are closely interconnected as they all promote ethical values, responsibility, and sustainability, which are also key principles in Islamic finance. When combined, ESG, SRI, and Green Sukuk form sustainability Islamic finance, which integrates Sharia principles with global sustainable goals. This highlights how Islamic finance naturally supports sustainable and responsible investing.
So, the ESG only includes environmental or it is includes social aspect?
Good question. ESG does include only environmental, social, and governance factors.
So, is there a strong relationship between Islamic finance and sustainability?
Yes, because both systems focus on finding a balance between economic growth and ethical responsibility. While modern ESG looks at the corporate impact, Islamic finance uses a maqasid al-sharia to ensure the money only is used to protect human life, society, and the planet. Islamic finance isn't just a set of rules. It's guided by Sharia rules naturally built on ethical value, justice, and planetary responsibility. While sustainability focuses on meeting present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. In Islam, we have the concept khilafah, which means stewardship. We don't absolutely own the earth resources. We hold them in sacred trust. Therefore, protecting the environment isn't a modern trend for us. It's a spiritual duty.
I understand. So, how can Islamic principle apply in finance modern system?
We do it through innovative instruments like Sukuk, which completely comply with the Sharia principle. Instead of just lending money for interest, Sukuk link investors directly to tangible real-world assets. This makes them perfectly legal ethical tool to fund a massive sustainable project like a solar farms or public schools.
Sukuk sounds interesting, but I'm still confused. Does it the same with conventional bond?
Don't be confused. Sophia, there are several differences between Sukuk and conventional bond. First, conventional bond represent a debt obligation between the issuer and investor. In contrast, Sukuk represent ownership in an underlying tangible asset. Second, conventional bond can finance almost any legal business activity. However, Sukuk must be backed by Sharia-compliant asset and activity. Third, bond pricing is based on the issuer creditworthiness and credit rating, while Sukuk pricing is based on the market value of the underlying asset. Another important difference is the source of return. Bond investor receive fixed interest payment, which involve revolve, while Sukuk investor earn return generated from the performance of the underlying asset. Finally, in the secondary market, bond trading involves the sale of debt claims, whereas Sukuk trading involves the sale of ownership interest in asset.
A few minutes later.
Rina, so does that mean Sukuk not include with interest at all?
Correct. Sukuk avoid interest and instead generate return through ownership of real asset and profit sharing arrangement.
So what is key characteristic of ESG, SRI, and green sukuk?
Let me explain about key characteristics of ESG, SRI, Sukuk, and Green Sukuk. More easier to understand, I organized the key characteristics into a table between ESG or CRI Sukuk and Green Sukuk. First, in terms of objective, ESG or CRI Sukuk focus on environmental, social, and governance goals, while Green Sukuk is more specifically focused on environmental sustainability. Second, for project eligibility, ESG Sukuk covers a wide range of sectors such as education, healthcare, affordable housing, and renewable energy. Meanwhile, Green Sukuk is limited to environmental-related projects like green buildings and clean transportation. Third, both are Sharia compliant, but ESG Sukuk follows general ESG principles, whereas Green Sukuk has stricter focus on green or environmental standards. And lastly, for reporting and transparency, both require impact reporting, but Green Sukuk usually involve more detailed environmental reporting and stronger verification. Further highlight this difference. ESG Sukuk shows a wider project scope, while Green Sukuk places greater emphasis on environmental compliance and impact reporting. Overall, Green Sukuk can be considered a specialized type of ESG Sukuk that can focus exclusively on environmental outcomes. In addition, Green Sukuk is a subset of ESG Sukuk focusing exclusively on environmentally sustainable projects, whereas ESG Sukuk covers broader environmental, social, and governance objectives.
So all these characteristics help achieve Maqasid Al-Syariah?
Yes, they directly support the objective of Islamic law.
Flashback.
Now I already understand about Conceptual Foundation, ESG, SRI, and Green Sukuk.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
So, Islamic finance goes beyond just avoiding prohibitions like interest. So, it is driven by Maqasid Al-Syariah, which means maximizing public benefits and prevent harm. So, this philosophy designs perfectly with modern ESG and UN sustainability goals by mapping the 5 essentials protections. Islamic finance directly supports sustainability. So, protecting life through clean water, lineage by fighting climate change, wealth through fair distributions, and intellect, greed, education, and faith by avoiding harmful industries. So, as we can see, in these actions through ESG and SRI Sukuk across various sectors, environmentally it funds renewable energy and green buildings. Socially, it builds affordable housing and develop wakaf assets for public welfare. So, in real-world pioneers in Malaysia prove this is work. For example, Tenaga Nasional Berhad issued 3 billion Green Sukuk to scale up solar energy, while Petronas launch 14 billion sustainability-linked structure targeting carbon capture. Ultimately, Islamic finance isn't just about compliance, it is about creating a proactive, positive, and impact of the world.
We running out of time for the exam. Let's go.
We are so ready for the exam. Let's go. So, everything is interconnected.
Yes, ESG promotes responsible investment.
Islamic finance ensure ethical and sustainable principles.
Sukuk is Sharia compliant alternative to conventional bond.
Its structure promotes fairness and transparency.
I already understand the big picture of ESG, SRI, and Sukuk interconnected, and they support Maqasid Al-Syariah.